So we are partnered with many, like companies, majorly with Creatio, and also we have other companies we are partnering and bringing solutions in Nepal. So and Mitra, is one of our partner, who is helping us to implement projects here in Nepal. So yeah. Can you go a little bit further? Just I wanted to quickly, introduce our our partner. So Creatio is one of our product partner. Creatio is a well-known name in the field of like CRM and business process. And another product is Sapphire, like where we do back office automations for the banking and financial industries. And we have also the strategy partnership with iXeed, where we bring omni-channel and digital banking solution for the banking in Nepal. So we, for implementation frontier, like we are partnering with Mitra, like who is helping us to implement projects in Nepal. And we have other, implementing partner, that is Alistech, who have been helping us for implementing few of the projects here in Nepal. And also our main partner is Samartha India. Samartha India is a Samartha company, where we based on, and we have been using their resources for doing some projects here in Nepal. So that's it. A very brief introduction about the Samartha. So I just give it to Harsha for continuing the rest of the thing.
Thank you, Santosh, for that quick, but then again, a comprehensive introduction, Gav. Let me take you through what Mitra Innovation is. We are 10 years young, but then again, within these 10 years, the things we have done was immense. You will see why. And some of the key highlights about us, if I give one-line introduction about Mitra Innovation, that is your trusted partner in cloud-native platform engineering. But then again, it's not only cloud-native platform engineering what we do. We do workflow automation, and we provide DevOps services. At the same time, we provide services across multiple platforms, tying up with multiple partners. As I initially mentioned, Creatio, WSO2 are just two of such prominent partners, but there are plenty. But in this discussion, in this webinar, our key focus is actually Creatio and WSO2. In terms of integration projects, we have delivered well over 100 integration projects. And if I move on to show you our global footprint, we are present, our clientele is present over 25 countries. And if someone can count the dots, it's exactly 25. And then we have offices starting from our headquarters, which is in UK. We have offices in Australia, Singapore, Sri Lanka, India, and latest one is in USA. But our main development center is in Sri Lanka. That's where we have about 300 plus engineers, qualified top-notch engineers working across delivering these solutions, integrations, you name it. And the logos we have here are actually very few prominent logos, carefully selected from all of our customers. As you can see, the bottom tier is actually banks in this region. When you see certain logos, you will immediately know some of the banks. But then again, there are prominent customers like non-banking customers like Cellcard, Dialog. They are into telecommunication. However, the logos above that line are actually from the rest of the world. But then again, the first line of brands are actually the prominent customers of ours. Some of the names you would know just by looking at the logo or the brand name. So if I move on to introduce the leadership for Asia region, because at Mitra we have focuses on key different regions. For Asia region, we have one of our co-founders and executive vice president Mitra Group, Mr. Dhammika Ganegama, and also we have head of business for Asia, UK, and Europe, Mr. Kasuneka Nayaka, and the head of integrations practice, Mr. Shanaka Mendes, and I'm overlooking the workflow automation practice, and also my colleague, he is the principal architect for this region, that is Mr. Samir Nelson. If I further move on, that's my session. Just before that, we have some set of questions. You have like a poll to answer. Based on your current challenges, you can actually highlight, which one is actually your biggest challenge right now. So if you take a minute to respond to the poll before I, prep and start my session, It'll give us great insights about your current challenges, how as Mitra or how as partners we can actually help you in order to overcome some of those challenges. Until you respond to the poll, I'll give a quick intro about myself. I joined IT industry along with the millennium bug. It's towards late 1999. And since then, I've been working in multiple facets, starting from software quality assurance, software engineering, business analysis, and then I've moved into project management and software solution delivery. For about last 15 years, I've been working on software solution delivery. And at Mitra, I'm overlooking and heading the workflow automation practice, working with Creatio. I have a sort of team, qualified and certified engineers on Creatio platform per se, and we have delivered solutions. Again, just like the previous global footprint I have showed you, I have delivered solutions. When I say solutions, Creatio solutions, workflow automation, integrated workflow automation solutions, starting from Australia to USA. So in my next few slides, but then again, I will not spend a lot of time explaining and walking through slides, which can be boring. But I have a very exciting real-time, like a product showcase. In that product showcase, I will show you how a typical workflow automation or rather Creatio platform will help streamlining business process. In this, I actually picked up a typical account opening process, very simplified one, because I know the account opening processes in, even in Nepal, the eKYC platforms you have, all of that. But then again, for this particular scenario, since I have to cover that within a short period of time, I have selected a very, short process, account opening process. And also I will show like a live product demo, how easily this platform can be customized. That is actually re-emphasizing the citizen developer concept to show that even a business user or maybe someone from IT department, how can they quickly, very easily customize this platform. In terms of the challenges, the future of challenges, when I say future, it actually started with the pandemic we faced, because that pandemic made us or forced us to reimagine everything, all the norms we have known so far. We had to think, we went for remote clinical procedures, to remote account opening, to everything. We had to actually go for remote models. So that actually gave, even as Mitra, we entered into partnership with Create amidst the pandemic, because with that there were lots of opportunities and lots of challenges at the same time customers were facing in terms of workflows, and also time to market. With a low-code platform, with a no-code platform, the time to market was very short. So therefore, we actually tied up with Creatio at the same time. So this actually, the change, which pandemic opened doors to us, or pandemic showed us, is actually continuing, and that's actually the future. And right now the challenge is, how can we make this workflows or this customer experience more humane? Because sometimes what happens in a workflow is actually it's a technology platform, and human interaction may be less. With that, how can we ensure that with certain automation, maybe with using artificial intelligence capabilities, how we can give like a proper, quick, human possible customer experience to the customers, is actually the challenge. When I analyze this challenge, there are multiple facets now. The overall customer relationship management, and then the front office, and then the back office, and also the middle office. So some would refer to that as back office, but at the same time continuous corporate services. Likewise, there are multiple different challenges we have identified, because as I showed you, we have been working with the banking sector for quite a long time. We have been working with Creatio for quite a long time. So with our expertise, we have identified those challenges, and also we have given plenty of solutions to our existing customers. And the same thing will be open for all of you who's representing a banking sector in Nepal. When it comes to CRM, Creatio is very strong in CRM space. Even the out of the box, or the default software You can download, if you go to www.creatio.com, you can actually download a trial version for yourself. You can easily try out. You will see even the out of the box or the default features are comprehensive in terms of providing typical CRM, the sales, marketing, and services to exist. When I say services, it's actually providing services to existing customers. As you can see, a third of high net worth clients, they're moving their assets to other banks because they don't appreciate the advisors or the financial advisors they actually get from the bank. What's the reason? The communication gap. So the tools are actually limited, and then the tools do not support the that conversation or the communication with the customers, this kind of challenges may happen. So the solution is end-to-end seamless automated workflows, starting from the first touch point of the customer who's coming with a lead, and to the continuous servicing of this customer. So the Creatio platform has entire gamut of features with sales, marketing, and service modules. And if I move on to cover the front office sort of challenges, it's actually, again, it's identified, and all of us know most of these processes of front office can be automated. As I firmly believe, if there's something non-value adding repetition, that is something we can automate. And it actually, with the advancement of AI, it actually it can go beyond non-value adding repetition well. However, this automation is something I'll be touching upon in my demo as well. It actually gives like a quick idea as to how easily the processes and the steps can be automated with the Creatio platform. In terms of middle office or the back office, we can actually bring that also into the front office and give bring them also into the workflow and make them part of the entire seamless integrated workflow, especially things like verification and underwriting. Some say underwriting, some say credit appraisal. Whatever it is, it's the same thing. So when it comes to credit appraisal, you don't see the customer. You will see some financial statements, some bank statements, income statements, and based on that you will make certain decisions. But then again, that can create some gap, because it's only the marketing employees of the bank who would be dealing with the customer. So this again can be sorted, or a solution can be given with integration, with exposing information and increasing the response. With that, let me start going into my demo. I'll share my screen in order to show you a little bit about Creatio platform. Give me a minute until I load my screen. Can someone confirm whether you can see my screen? Is it visible? No? Is it coming up?
Yes, it is coming up.
Thank you. So here is actually a customized instance for a hypothetical bank called My Bank. MI stands for Mitra Innovation. So this actually is a Creatio instance, and again, all the work I'm going to show you hasn't taken days or weeks to configure. Can take my word for it. I'm sure Santosh knows about this, working with us for so long. This actually took less than a day for us to configure this particular workflow, which I'm going to demonstrate. So this workflow, within this workflow, I'll be playing a couple of roles. I'll be playing a role of a customer, a potential customer who's filling like a landing page to give out certain basic information for the bank to process. And then a couple of role players in the bank, someone from front office, another person who's checking the information, and another person who's approving the particular request. And up to the point of creating an account, I will be showing the workflow. So before I move on to the workable demo, let me give a quick intro about the Creatio platform. This is how a typical Creatio user interface will look like. On your left-hand side, you have all the workspaces. Depending on the functionality assigned to your user role, you will see all these menu options, and then again you can group them into different workspaces. So in this, we have created a separate new workspace called My Bank, and collated the request section, account details section, contacts, activities, all those are collated into My Bank workspace. You can even hide this if you want more space on your screen. And on your right hand side, there's a setting icon. I'll show you why this settings icon is important. And then you have the communication panel. When you click on the communication panel, there are multiple different communication types are supported: emails, calls, SMSs, and then chat options. For each of these, there are connectors available in Creatio Marketplace. Depending on the telephony solution you have, there can be a connect in the marketplace, and we can connect to your telephony solution, to your PABX solution, and enable the telephony integration. And same goes for email as well. In this one, I have actually integrated this instance with an email account. So that's why you can see some of the emails appearing on this section. And over here, you have all the, you can organize your work across the CRM platform. It has all the reminders and the tasks and notification if there are any approval, if there are any approval tasks, to-do tasks, all of that appear over here. And this entire section can be used to organize all of your work across the CRM platform. And this is the section which has all of the requests which were generated from the other customers. And now I'm trying to impersonate a potential customer who's trying to register for a new facility. I'll use my friend Shanaka's name over here because I've already used my name. But I'll use my email address so that I can access the OTP, because this system is going to send an OTP. All these information have been pre-filled from my web form to save time. So I will just submit this request. So it says that it had actually sent like an OTP. So let me log into my personal email account to see whether I have received the OTP, and then to proceed with the rest of the process. In the meantime, I'll show you the record which was created. This is actually the record. Instantaneously, this record actually fetched into the Creatio instance panel. And if I open the record, it actually has all of the information I have entered into the landing page. So this landing page can be a section in your website as well. We can integrate very easily to your website and fetch that information, the need information, into Creatio platform. And it has even the email which was generated from the system and the history. Right now, there are no approvals. It will load in the future when I move on. And the information which we have captured already are appearing over here. So I'll go to the email inbox. So it has the OTP, which is this. And I'm going to do two things, because this email asks me to validate the OTP. At the same time, reply with identity proof. Now here, what I have done was I've given a glimpse of KYC. I know it's not the real KYC, but then again, the idea is the real KYC platform can be integrated with Creatio, just like how we have integrated this landing page into a Creatio platform. So I will do two things. I will go to the OTP verification page and enter the particulars of the name I have entered already, and the email address, and also I will enter the OTP which I got from the system. I'm still playing the role of the customer over here, and so OTP has been sent, and I can go back to the instance to see. Right now it's verification pending because OTP verification was pending. Now it's you can see it has changed to verification success because I have verified the OTP. Now with this, what I would do is I will send a scanned copy of my passport to the instance. That way I can show you how an attachment is reflecting very easily into the Creatio platform. Now here, I will now open the record and I will start processing. Now here I will move on to the next stage manually, to the review application stage. And now system tells me assign a checker. Now this is a task. This task is always also appearing in this section as well. However, why I'm stressing on this task, this is one step of streamlining the workflow. Now, if there are 10 different tasks, those who are doing credit appraisal, or maybe customer qualification, or maybe something more serious like AML feedback, or maybe KYC feedback. The checklist says to complete certain set of activities. We can feed all these activities into the workflow, and workflow will ensure that the user will complete these activities before moving to the next step. Or at the same time, depending on certain tasks. Now, for example, if it is a approve type, or maybe like a decision box kind of a task, depending on the decision, we can divert the workflow into multiple different paths. So here, what I would do is, now system tells me assign a checker. So I'll be assigning a checker who will check this particular application and make it proceed further. So I save the record, and I've completed manually. I stress the term manually because, as I promised you, I will show how easily I can automate this as well. Now I will refresh this and move into the checker approval. Since I'm the supervisor, I could even go further, but then again, I'll log in as the checker right now in a different window to impersonate Randir, who will be reviewing this particular application and provide the next level of confirmation to the authorizer. So I'm now logging in as the checker and then opening the same task. I can actually, as I showed you, I can open from my task section as well. Or else, if I click on this, it will straight away take me into the task, because in real life scenario, you won't know what exactly was the request. You will have rather you will have a lot of tasks lying over here, and you can actually click the appropriate task and move into the particular section. And now I will look at all the information as a checker, and it actually requires my approval. Before approving, I will check the attachment. Yes, this is attachment I actually sent via. So that attachment is already there. I can open and check as well. And at the same time, other information also I can check, the emails, all of that. And so since I'm satisfied with the identification, I'm going to prove this. And then it will actually, the workflow will move on to the next stage. And next one is actually impersonating the authorizer, the manager, so to speak. So Supriya is the manager, the person who's playing the role of the manager or the user. So I'll be logging as the manager just to approve this request and to show that the automatic account opening or automatic account creation, how it has completed. Now I just completed that without spending a lot of time, and workflow is now fully completed. And if I go into account details, yeah, there's an entry created with my friend's name. So this can be pushed to your core banking solution with integrations. But the idea I wanted to establish was we can actually develop like a seamless and streamlined workflow in like a remote workflow, because customer up to now hasn't physically interacted, but then again customers information, the KYC documents, everything has seamlessly transferred to Creatio platform. All right, now let me move on to the next part of my demo, that is the customization of the platform. Now in this one, I have actually logged in as a supervisor or the admin, super admin. Therefore, I can go into settings of the platform. But even if someone is not a super admin, there are certain level of customizations possible. For instance, let's say you need to see additional information, in this area. In typical system context, if you need additional, maybe new fields or new column or something, you have to send an IT request, or maybe IT has to contact the vendor. It has to go through a lengthy process. But here, you can actually quickly customize. Let's say you want to see the address, permanent address, right? And That's it. And you can change column setup. You can interchange. You can change the width of these fields. All these are very easily customizable, just like an Excel sheet. The creation new Freedom UI version. Is there a question? Yes, Sanjay. Shall we move on? Because I'll be opening the session for Q&A later on, because I need to cover this within my next 10 minutes. Let me show the configuration part. Please park your question. I will definitely answer your question during the Q&A session. Is that okay? All right. So I'll move on to the configuration part of it. So I can actually open the configuration page. This on the left hand side, you can see it has lots of different widgets, components, fields. So I can actually customize this area with simply dragging and dropping some field. But then again, my idea is actually to show the workflow customization. So I'll straight away move into the workflow customization section, where you will do the case customization. That's actually the technical term we use in Creatio. So here I will go to the setup cases, because that's my focus area right now. But the idea is, if you require an additional data point, new fields, you can see, as you can see, you can drag and drop very easily and add another field without requesting any help from your IT department or your vendor, that is us. All right, so I'll open the workflow automation. So this is actually the workflow which I showed you. This is what we have customized. So this is the sign checker task. You remember that the task appeared in the workflow. This is that. So I'm going to add an automated task here. It's called open edit page. So again, I'll give the same name, sign checker, and I'm going to give some configurations, like system asks me which page to open with this edit action, and who will perform the task. And then editing mode, is it to add a new record or add an existing one? And the record ID, I have to give a record ID. Only this ID is actually the system generated unique ID, so I'm selecting that, and I can give a hint to the user. And there are other conditions. Now, what this would do is, this particular task. Now, previously the task was performed manually, but in this, you will see the system will become intelligent, and system will monitor. This particular task will monitor the user's activities, and then at the end of the activity, I can check if a particular condition is met. So what I'm going to check is whether the checker has been assigned. So I'm going to say if the checker has been filled in, then it will allow the user to proceed further. Show in calendar, you can actually see the activities in the calendar, and I'm going to make this a required step. That's it. And I'm going to remove the previous task, the manual task I'm removing, and this stage I'm going to further automate, saying that if all steps are completed, it will automatically transition to the next stage. Fine. So I'm going to save the business process and give it few seconds to populate everything, because I didn't do any coding here. It's just simple, drag and drop. But all the population of database objects to entire functionality, the coding, everything has been generated by the platform back of this. So it took a little while to save. Now the workflow is ready for us to take on the new journey. So what I would do is, I would check another new record just to save time. So this record, I will move on to the rev application stage, and there's a task called assign a checker. So let me go to login as the front office person, just like the previous scenario, the person who's going to do the checking part of the application, to see how this automation is going to work. All right, I'm going to log in as Randir. Before I log in, before that, I need to assign the checker. So what I would do is, I'll try to complete this to see whether the system is not allowing me to complete this. And then we'll see whether system is going to system is not allowing, although I'm the admin, system is not allowing me to go to the checker approval. It says you have to complete this. So now I'm going to assign the checker and save the record. So automatically the task got completed because system knew, remember that the condition I have set up at the configuration of the workflow. So system checked whether the checker has been assigned and completed automatically. And then automatically the stage also moved into the checker approval because all the tasks of the review application stage have been completed. Now it automatically goes into the checker approval. Now I can see as the checker how this particular uh, request is waiting for the approval. Yeah. So same way, from here, we can actually move on to the same workflow. But the idea I wanted to plant or idea I want to share with you was how easily this workflow can be customizable. So imagine your workflow might change. Government might come up with some new regulations, or maybe you might identify a new sector and new way of verifying customer information. Uh, in that kind of a scenario, you will have to change your workflow, update workflow, add new tasks. All of that you can do it by yourself. When I say you, anyone coming from a bank and maybe the IT department of the bank, or even the business users, if someone has a fair understanding of how to design a simple workflow, they actually can with certain training, because in every implementation we provide training and we give access to Creatio Academy. Creatio has a separate certification program. So with all of that, you can take over the maintenance and future development of the platform by yourself. The simple demo which I did was like a POC for that, because I don't consider myself as technical. I was technical, but not anymore. So I also could do this, configuration or automation very easily. So with that, I actually came to the end of my segment. Uh, should we take the question now, or should we take the question after the Q&A? Yeah. So can we take that question now? Because I'm sure that question would have been relevant to the Creatio segment. Can you please ask the question once again, or has that been given in the Q&A session? Right. There was someone who raised a hand. You have the opportunity to ask the question. I don't know whether I have given the answer already. If that's the case, you can. All right. You can actually drop the question in the ask question Q&A section. So let me share my screen once again. That will help you because we haven't enabled microphones for everyone in this session. So if you can see my screen over here, when you click on this section, you will see Q&A. So in the Q&A section, you can actually ask a question. All right, okay. Sanjeev, you can actually ask. My admin just confirmed that your microphone is allowed. You can unmute yourself and ask question.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sanjeev.
Sir, my question is what is the actually requirement user license for this all workflow? It's a basic license or full-fledged license is required for the initiator?
It's actually even now the Creatio Studio is a base component. So whenever you purchase license, so if you go to the Creatio license or the pricing page, it has three different types of offerings: the immediate or the starter package, and the enterprise, and the advanced one. So even with the starter, immediate, the lowest one also, you actually get the studio licenses, as long as the studio license, because Creatio is actually selling the platform, not the product. They sell the studio platform, because what Creatio believes is the citizen developer concept and the freedom. Even the new UI, they call it freedom UI.
Actually, we have like 200 branches, and
Mhm.
if I develop the workflow, definitely from the branch level, it's a initiate, right?
Yes.
Then it means we have minimum all the branches if we require the initiate the workflow, any
Mhm.
workflow. So that is what type of license is required from the no for the all the workflow.
Just to initiate the workflow. So if it is just to initiate the workflow, Creatio also offers two different types of licenses. One is a partner license, and the other one is a customer, the portal license as we call it. So one of those two licenses also will be able to initiate the workflow. But at the same time, now in this scenario, I showed you the landing page. So the landing page is actually another add-on to the Creatio platform called Sunny Landing Pages. So with that, a customer now in a real life scenario, a customer wouldn't have like a license. So a potential customer can send the request to the landing page, and your branch staff can maybe depending on the licensing. Now, as I said, there are different license options available, like the partner portal license and the customer portal license. However, if someone wants to access sales features, that person has to obtain the sales license. So I would maybe drop a link to the
Not like CRM, all the CRM. Just for the workflow, I have like a 200 workflow in the already developed, and just I want to the use all the workflow and the initiate from branch level to the central office.
Right.
So that is the branch user. One is the license required, the enterprise license for the development.
Will not be enterprise license, as I said. So if I send you the link to the Creatio pricing model, maybe I'll share the link in this. We can move on, and so basically, even the entry version of product is sufficient for you to start a workflow. So enterprise edition may not be required for you to initiate the workflow. All right.
Like if I have required the both way workflow, both way communication, so that does it only support the initiate the license? I don't think so. Is the just only the initiate license is the sufficient?
Yeah, when you say two-way, it's actually someone
Communication
from product
wise.
is also all right. So what
Yeah.
we can do is probably we can engage in a separate conversation. Maybe even after the session, we will be sharing our contact details. Sanjeev will because we have a very limited time allocated for the session, so we'll catch up offline, and I'll evaluate your requirement and provide the assistance you require. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Speaker. I muted my speakers also.
All right. Thanks, Alshan. Good afternoon. So with that, let's start moving towards the middleware part. So let me give a quick introduction about myself. I'm Samir Nelson. I have over 14 years of hands-on experience in software engineering. So basically, I have been specialized in the domains of banking, telco, and network services. My specialties are more towards financial middleware systems, billing backends, charging platforms, and payment settlement engines. So with that, so let's start the show. Okay, so let me start this discussion with few set of ideas or questions to you. So I'll give you some time to think around this one. All right. So I think to get back to this one, I'm pretty sure your answer should be yes, because I would emphasize you two reasons, but there can be more. Usually, the banking sector is one of the best sectors who are making strategic plans. We know that, right? On the other hand, currently Nepal banking system or the financial system is very strong, and they are in a verge of a development at this moment with the momentum they have acquired for last decade, I would say. So the stats clearly indicate that the growth is prominent, and of course there are a few things that we have to focus on. So let me pick few points from here and have a discussion around that quickly. So if you think about evolve the same pace as industry and the customer experience, so we all understand usually the basic general applied mechanism on promotions and other notifications, I don't think they will work further. You have to think about how we can filter them best and target it properly for the customer level, in the personalized level. And also in the industry is disrupting heavily. You have to keep up with the industry and be with the industry to leverage the things out there. Right. The next point, I'm pretty sure with your strategic decisions, plannings, and you have planned well on how you would be harvesting the best out of the core business areas of yours. But what about the untapped areas that you may have? So these untapped areas would make you go extra mile on this. So let's discuss a bit about them, how the technology would enable you looking into more areas, something like embedded finance and maybe partnerships and exposing our services to others so that we can leverage. It's a win and win situation, that how we are going to do that. But now the question comes in: diversify and span, agreed. But when you expose yourself, maybe the data, maybe the set of functionalities, of course you have more opportunities. What comes after? Vulnerabilities. You are exposed too much. How you can control it? How you can maintain it? So that's really important. So you should be really with the technology to make sure that you are not sharing a single bit of information that you are not intended to share. So in the right, okay. So with that, so let's have a bit of a discussion around probably the future state of the bank. I'm pretty sure most of the financial institutes, banks, have touched upon this one. But let me go to individual section and describe what is the benefit that we are going to have by setting up the platform firmly and scalably. So let's start with the real time. So when we think about banking operations, I think it's a must that we should think how this ecosystem works now. It should be firmly connected, seamless, which gives a consistent view for the customers. That's to say, it doesn't matter what is the medium that you are using. You are using bank's payment instrument. You are making a payment. You want to use that payment service, and it doesn't matter the medium that you are using it, and it doesn't matter the way you are using it. The experience is really important, and that is expected. When we move to the, so let me go through these steps first, and maybe let's have a discussion around a better use case, try to apply throughout these. So let's think about intelligence. So this intelligentness has been a buzzword for many years now. It started with ML. Eventually, we have come to I would say, a turning point of this intelligence with AI, especially the technologies like ChatGPT and Google Bard. So when we think about that, just imagine, so we were discussing a bit about personalized message, target, catered communication channels and stuff. So if you just imagine, you are on the top of a huge data set. So it's not all about selling this data. So we are not there. We are in a very professional, and we are in an industry we firmly follow, and we are firmly adhering to regulation and consents. But of course, it's a win-win situation. And if you selectively let your customers know what you have to offer to them, customized for them, that's a win for the customer as well. But you have to understand the customer. So basically, with the data, you can open up wisdom. In technical terms, I would say insights. So usually, insights with the ease of discussion, I would say you may have actionable insights. The insights that you have, based on that, you can take actions. And the other thing is the viewable, or the things to understand. for an example, what has been happened there, how he was working on this one, how he was acting on this one, how his transaction profile is. You have to understand that. Of course, there's a very thin line between these two. Usually, once you understand, you can turn it to actionable one. So I agree. So to have this type of setup, the main thing that you have to think around is you have to think of a way of modeling your data properly with these basic data related concepts, cleanse the data, and pump it to an analytics process. So now we have started discussing about ML and AI. So, but still there's a huge gap between the outcome and the input. Sometimes we may really don't know what we really need. We don't know the process that we have to follow. We don't know the technology that we have to use. We don't know the people who are capable of doing this in most cases. Right? So, but once we establish our platform, the middleware, into a proper positioning, we have set the stepping stone there, and we are ready to evolve. So, next point, I would say one of the most important points in the aspect of expansion, having a proper B2B connectivity. I would start with partnerships and end with ecosystems. So when we start the discussion about this one, beyond the core business of the bank, we can think of how we can generate more revenue out of the other streams that we discussed initially in our first slide. So that's to say, so let me give a small use case here. So just imagine you have the fuel to run the engines in the economy, right? So everything is going okay, but are we stopping there? So everything is going fine. So the cycle goes on. Everything is okay. But just imagine if you can help boosting some of the engines. If you can help developing new engines so that they will consume more fuel or the money or the cash flow from yours, hence more profit to yours. So that's an enabler, I would say. Always making a partnership. We should look at that. You should make it a win-win situation that we can leverage out of that. But partnership is only the start. My idea is the capability set that the financial systems have, they should think about the ecosystem. So let me get an example to that one once I finish the innovative part as well. So let's move on. So the innovative part. So let me ask the question. So in the very basic question that we can ask is, we are in a daily struggle. How we think of an innovation. So it's very fair. But think of like this. If you are in a steady situation that you know what you are doing as a business and you have better insights towards that, you have a better performance levels, and you have a better platform, yes, you are in a good position to think about innovate. You are in a good position to let others to play in the platform and understand how the things would grow. If we have a proper middleware platform in place, that is very important. Why it's important? Why I'm emphasizing that? Just imagine if you have to put a lot of efforts to build your platform in the first place. Believe me, in a project, it would be up to 60% that you have to spend money, effort to build only the platform. On top of that, you have to build up the service. Then eventually, when you are settled down, you can think of innovation. But if you think about low code, no code solution in the technical terms, of course, you are starting from there. So that's there already available. And you can start developing services and eventually let go ahead with the innovation mindset. Especially, let me relate few things here, which is very fascinating. Some of the iPaaS platforms even provide proper integrations to ChatGPT. So if you have to make a connection to a different system, enterprise application, so it has been a complex, tedious task. But now it's a matter of informing it via the AI so that it will set up the fundamental layer of that, and it's a matter of configuring and going there. So if you have the correct middleware, now with the enhancement of the technology, connecting to these technology, connecting to these platforms is a matter of how committed you are to go with that behavior. And also, this will allow you, of course, your partners, the third parties to whom you have exposed your services, to let them innovate. And going back to the previous slide, maybe taking a revenue share, not only stop from there, maybe you are the ecosystem. So let me get a quick example on this. I know it has been a bit of a time that you had with the solar energy adaptation. So I understood that there has been a prominent campaign from government as to go with these sustainable energy solutions. And I know there were several situations with the net metering systems and all of that. Yes, but getting to the point. So let's imagine a system, if someone wants to get a loan and try to go for a rooftop solar system. So this is a disconnected system, I would say. The cash flow is disconnected at least. The process is connected, well-defined, regulated. We know who do what and who will give permissions. We know everything. But I would say, if I am doing that, maybe I have to go there, collect that and decide who would be my partner and, make the payment and go on. So let's take a step ahead. Maybe the financial platform getting partnered with someone who's providing these solar related systems. Okay, makes sense. So that when someone wants to get into this one and apply for a loan and go there, let's imagine now he's eligible, he'll be getting the loan and the settlement would be happening in this platform. The technology platform that we have will facilitate that. The process that we already have in place will govern it. So it would be happening very seamlessly. Right. So now, who will be eligible for this program? Of course, you can think of the intelligent behavior of this one. You can do analytics and find out who can afford this solution, who can make this investment. So rather than just throwing this idea out and asking them to apply, you can focus and ask. We'll be giving you different set levels of promotions on this one. And also, on the other hand, onboarding that solar system provider, you are starting a new relationship with set of people because they have their own life cycle. They are importing the stuff. They have, working with many different other organizations. So now we are in the partner state. But let me highlight you a few things. If I suggest you, what if the financial institute, I know it's not their primary business, but if they can simply go ahead and try to build a financial settlement platform on this type of use case. So you are not only a partner, you have built it, even other financial institute or other people also can join in. So now you are running the ecosystem. And of course, the fuel is the cash flow. You have it, you own it. And also on top of this, the innovation would be endless. Just imagine there can be off-grid, on-grid systems. So whenever there are off-grid systems or even for on-grid systems, can you do some analysis on this one and propose some EVs for them rather than just, uploading this data into a network and try to, get some money out of that one? Maybe you can charge your own EV and you can use that. But how we identify? We have the answer, right? Onboarding a EV is an entirely new ecosystem. There's a lot that we can discuss. You can't go with that one. So the beauty of this intelligence is you can understand those who can do the things and those who can't, and the risk levels as well. So that is very important. And of course, those who can't go for that level, we'll decide that, okay, I can see that you have a very good system, solar system that you have provisioned through us. I mean, we have facilitated you on this. Why don't you go ahead with the EV charger? We'll make you partner with the popular network that is providing that service. You'll convert your energy into better way of earning some cash from this. Right? So I would stop there, but still the opportunities are there a lot. All right, so we have make a nice picture that what we are seeking for, but let me explain in a bit of a technical manner that how a mature middleware platform will allow a financial institute, what it will enable. So basically, it will create a foundation or the basic foundation or the basic settlement for end-to-end digital automation with any of the internal or external systems. And just to mention, think of integrating with a workflow system will ease up your life in most cases, like ratio. So also, it will increase customer convenience with real-time and consistent experience that we discussed. Of course, it will help you to stay ahead with the competition. You have to keep up with the technology advancements, and also you can focus on your own specified areas that you are willing to play. And it will create again a platform, a framework and platform, which will lead you forward through the maturity level. So we were discussing a bit about maturity level. I'm pretty sure we have to understand this. So in the next slide, let's get into a slide and understand how we are usually measuring this maturity. Again, personalized approach and best-in-class security and the performance and support. All right, so let's try to understand. Now we were discussing a bit about things, how it is going to be. But the most important thing is, now we have to understand where are we now as a financial institute. So let me go through this one very quickly. So in the basic level, it's like you have started stepping into this world of extended service, I would say. So the primary service is basically make sure the end users are getting the basic relevant operations or activities enabled. And but still the cables can be limited, but it will be the starting point for enhanced customer convenience than a usual banking experience or the financial institute experience. And also, I would say it's the first step towards a digital transformation. But eventually, when you start with this, when you move to you will eventually move to the next foundational level. When you start evolving with your APIs with more sophisticated, more standard, more secure and well-documented unified APIs. So that's to say, it may not be completed, but you have set that foundation correctly, so that you know where are you heading to. In the advanced categorization, I would say the financial institute or the bank is very confident about the exposed services. They know what they are doing. It's unified. You can track everything properly. You can see the things happening there. You can have the full control out of that one, and you are leveraging from exposed services. So this will eventually lead to a superior customer experience, and of course, this will help you to be in the market leadership as well. And also, as we discussed, you will be able to harvest the revenue in new channels. So the innovate level. So I would say staying ahead of the technology, staying ahead of the time. So you have thought around this one. You have the fundamental setup in place. Now you have an innovative mindset that you will be, you can try out the things because you have a safe, very stable, safeguarded system that you can trial out few of the things that you can go for. You can think of going from partnership to ownership of ecosystems. You can go for data-driven insights. You can think of offerings which others may have difficulties to offer with your capabilities of your platform. Okay, so we had discussions to understand how we can position ourselves, where we are as a financial institute. So once we understand that one, and once we think we are ready to leap forward, this is the exercise I would recommend to you. So this is the standard process that usually followed and recommended. So let's go through that one very quickly. Understand the current status. I think previous slides help you to understand where we are as a financial institute. But it's not the only thing. We have to think about the business perspective, resources and resources and capacity, or the capabilities that we have. How we are going to remodel some of the areas, and very importantly, evaluate our current tech landscape. Once we have understood this one properly, we can move to the next section. Right. So where we are headed to, where we want to be. For an example, one organization may think, right, so let's start from the beginning. Next 2 years, I'll go to the foundation level. And in the next 5 years, I'll plan for the 10 years of my bank. Yes, it's possible. You have to do so. You have to achieve maybe step by step. But maybe another bank who are in a good position think, okay, I would take this leap forward at once. I should be there at once. It doesn't matter what you are headed to. First, you have to understand with the futuristic tense, with your capabilities and the technologies that you are willing to adapt, you have to plan where you want to reach to. That's it. So now, as usual, we know where we are as an institute and where we are headed. And the next important thing is we have to understand the plan to bridge there by a proper analysis. I would say this is one of the most important things that you have to do. We have to understand the level of engagement. We have to understand the capacity and commitments that we want to put, that we can put, and also the technology landscape or the technologies that we are going to adapt maybe stage by stage. So at the end, once we are finalized with this stage, we can derive the optimal path. So I would emphasize the optimal path word because it's not the best path, it's not the shortest path. It would be the optimal path. Every institute may have its own benefits and advantages, disadvantages, but we have to find the optimum path to success. So in this exercise, it is true that technology plays a major role in this. Yes, it's technology driven, but it has many other supporting services required. For an example, in the organization level, the process level mindset, the resources for doing this, proper trainings, and the preparations is a key thing. So I think in the initial demonstration also, we explained that the technology, the setup may be out there, but we don't know how to use it. What's the purpose of that one? So we have to be very careful about business flow when we are working with this technology. So we recommend you to find an experienced, capable partner who can sit with you, who can understand your positioning, who can be the partner in this journey and give you the best, help you find the optimal path to achieve your future state. So that concludes my session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samira, for that insightful discussion, and I'm sure the thought-provoking questions and the messages you shared will definitely, get all of you to think or rethink about the whole integration middleware ecosystem. So with that, we can actually move into the Q&A session. Again, let me remind you with a screen share how you can access the Q&A section of this platform. You can actually access the options of the meeting on the bottom right-hand corner. And when you click on this icon, you will see the Q&A poll, all of that. So if you haven't responded to the poll, please click on that and vote if your challenge is there in one of those options. Please vote so that we can get a good understanding about the current challenges you might be facing. So based on that, we can even engage with you in terms of providing some solutions, or even doing some POCs. When I say POCs, it can be an integrated POC, because Mitra has workflow automation capabilities and integration capabilities. So that actually gives a very powerful combination, so that one workflow, let's say a Creatio workflow, can cut into multiple systems, and it will work as an integrated workflow, and the middleware stack can actually facilitate the integrations between multiple source systems, and we should be able to provide like a powerful ecosystem to you. I can see there's a question in the Q&A section. Coincidentally, I was actually answering the same question. So basically, that's something I always believe, and we have even given solutions around this as well. Because Creatio is very easily integratable to other systems. So it supports REST APIs, SOAP APIs, and then building integrations with Creatio is not a challenge. Even these integration endpoints, API endpoints, can be utilized, can be consumed in the workflows. Now, remember, I showed you some workflow configuration. And in the workflow configuration, you can call something called a Creatio business process. So Creatio business process is nothing but a function, and within that, we can very easily consume API endpoints. So with that, we can actually make Creatio as the common workflow layer, cutting across multiple systems using either Creatio integration capabilities, or if you decide to move on with a middleware implementation, and we can straight away integrate to the middleware without spending a lot of time in integrating to multiple source systems. We can straight away, when I say we, Creatio platform can integrate to the middleware and provide you a seamless, uniform workflow which actually cuts across multiple source systems. Hope you got the answer for that question. There's another question. Our existing banking setup. Okay, that's, I think, should be answered by Samir.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So let me read the question quickly for this benefit. Our existing banking setup perfectly fits for the business needs, very stable, tightly coupled to operations, and contains crucial data. Why should we consider modernization? I think it's a very good question that we can have a discussion around that one quickly. So that is true, but let's start with something that we know. A ship in the harbor is safe, of course. May not be in some cases, but in most cases it would be. Right? So we really, as technology partners, we really understand the concern here. So your business is going on, the system is stable, and it contains crucial data. So that is why usually in this type of modernizations, there are a lot of industry level standards and best practices. So I'll name few in the technology perspective. For an example, if you are thinking of, right, I don't want to touch that data. I don't want to even not expose a single point, but still I want to be with the modernization, because modernization is a need. Now we have already discussed about modernization, what the benefit, what are the benefits around that, what's the benefit of having a stable, firm middleware system. So how we can still do that? So there are practices that we can follow. Basically, there are a connector concept that we can tap into several set of systems without making any changes to the system. I would say you have to open up few ports and you have to enable access to that system. But of course, your business functionalities and the other surveys wouldn't be touched at all. And still we'll be able to get a data feed out of that one very secure and very standard way. And also, in case if needed, we can go with a very guided tour towards a re-platform or retransfer model. And in case if you feel that still keeping up everything properly, and we can slowly start rewriting or reapplying to a different areas to enable these exposed level of service. So understanding the key concern, there are standard and secure ways that we can do. And the question is around mostly that one. And the consideration for the modernization, I think we discussed in detail. It's to deal up with the situation, be with the technology, and focus on growth beyond our core business areas. And of course, this technology enhancement will definitely help your enhancement of your core business as well. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Thank you,
So
Samir.
Sam,
I think
yeah.
it does.
So,
I have
Harsha,
another question. Sanjay is asking, does it capable and integrate for open bank? Sanjay, is your question on creation platform or WSO2 middleware?
Harsha, it should be on the WSO2, the middleware platform. Samira, maybe you can answer about the open banking one.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So it's always about open and standards. So open banking, integration, capability API. So that my quick answer is yes, we can do that. So it's all about exposing banking services in secure and proper manner. Middleware is the capability approach towards that. But the thing is, you have to be a open bank. I mean, in the feasible way, you have to be a open banking partner to do it, because I think you have understood that there are strong regulations based on the regions, and of course there are very strong patterns that we are usually following. And I would say Mitra is one of the the Mitra is platinum open banking partner for WSO2, and I would say Mitra is one of the most experienced WSO2 partner who's doing these exercises within the region.
Yeah. So Harshan want to share a couple of thoughts around the same explanation that Samir shared. So gentlemen, I know most of you are from banking industry, right? And you are thinking for the digitization. One thing that you need to be mindful is here we are not talking about evolution of banking. Because evolution is something incremental, gradual growth, right? Here we are talking about the complete transformation. It's like egg becoming a larvae, and then larvae becoming a butterfly. That sort of complete transformation. So to understand that, if you check about the dynamics, as an example, when it comes to African region, mobile is very, very dominant, right? Mobile money is very dominant. When it comes to Asia, it's a mix. Some countries, banking and fintechs, financial institutes own the dominance. In some countries, the telcos holds the dominance. But when it comes to countries like Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, I think it's kind of a balanced approach. So that's where the banks have that advantage to leverage that. There are a lot of cross-border transactions. We are talking about cross-border transactions with India. So I think entire South Asia at some point will enable the cross-border transaction. It might happen in 5-10 years, we don't know. And digital currencies, I know even Nepal, Rashtra Bank, there are a lot of initiatives going on. So what we are saying is, we need to be ready with the essential platform to jump to that leap. So that's what we are kind of talking in terms of modernization. So a different perspective. So maybe Santosh also can help us to connect some of those dots with these gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely. I have a question, like you have rightly said, like as the country itself, like there's a lot of discussions going on digitalization, digital currencies, and so many, things. So the requirement for a good platform on API management is necessary now, and there's so many people are talking about it. So I think like your experience working with open banking and the API management kind of thing will be very important for us. So any further questions from the participants? Do you have any further questions? Please put up in the system. Or if the voice is enabled, can they ask the question directly?
Yeah, they can raise the hand, then we can actually enable the microphones accordingly. How can we enable mic for everyone?
Yeah, Sanjeev has another question.
Sanjeev has another question, I think. There's another question in the section. Sanjeev, you can ask the question. Your mic is enabled now.
Hello. Yes, sir.
We can.
Sir, can we see your another product is the WS2 or for the API management, and can we see another day for the demo purpose?
Yes, of course, we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because of we are also looking the open bank, and for the open bank we have very already. I think that is the Nelson said the security purpose is we should be the maintained, and so that is the just we want to the what is your product is there no, so that we will easily to integrate and ready to move the open bank.
Sure, Sanjeev.
Yes, sir. Next session, please try to the next session the one same like the demo, and we will discuss on it.
Sure. Just to confirm, I believe you represent Citizens Bank.
Yes, sir.
Brilliant.
Okay.
And the last time also, sir, we will discuss about the sales and marketing.
Yes.
Yes, and the 5-6 process we have, and based on your implement cost is the so high, so that is we'll just and also we discuss with your local partner Samartha and the Santosh ji, and we want to definitely
you want the solution, but right now the investment is
yes
challenge right now. Okay,
yes.
we'll definitely
I didn't understand the 5-6 process is it will be the cost is very high. Sir, please, Santosh ji, please discuss with okay.
Yes, sure.
We'll definitely discuss.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I'll come back on that part separately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one more question from another participant. If there aren't any other questions, so if anyone's not raising hands, I'll be picking this question. It actually asks, it's on Creatio, so I'll take it up. How easily I can train my IT and business users on Creatio platform? I think I covered that already in the demo because I talked about the Creatio Academy. So Creatio has its own academy and the like a certification system. There are videos. You can very easily follow the videos and learn about the platform. There are mock assessments. You can do the mock assessments and qualify. You can see how many marks you will get, and then you can go through for real certification and get yourself certified as a analyst or a developer. There are different levels. So analyst is actually someone who will do configurations, the similar configurations what I demonstrated. But then again, there are certain advanced coding is also possible with the platform. For instance, if you have to develop some integrations or connectors, it requires some advanced coding as well. So developer certification is essentially for that. So I would say from my experience, I was a customer whom actually from education and training sector in UK, we implemented Creatio CRM for 2 business divisions, and we trained one person. He was actually the single point of contact, and he actually implemented Creatio CRM for the third division or the next business department by himself with little or no help from us. He actually single-handedly implemented. So I can very confidently say that you can train your business users and IT department very easily, and they can actually look after the platform in terms of the maintainability. If the cost or the investment is a concern for you to keep paying someone to provide the services for you or customizations for you, this is the best option because you can carry out the CRs or customizations by yourself.
Yeah, Harshan, on that point, I want to share a couple of thoughts and exam experiences as well. So that is also, I don't know who asked that question, but it is kind of a mantra of Mitra as well. I'll bring one example, one classic example. So we started doing businesses in Cambodia about 5-6 years ago. At that time, they were in kind of a initial digital learning process. The university, there were university grads, undergrads, but they were not very high tech, just learning them. So we had few customers. We started with about 50-60 team members. We used the at that time React.js, mobile app development, even Flutter. At that time, those technologies are very new. So we started with a lot of team members, and one of our KPI was at that time we committed to them, hey, gentlemen, we will train you. So after 3 years, 4 years time, you will run the entire show. So actually now we are kind of proud because in some of the operations they are handling by their own, and they have actually ramped up on some of those niche skills at that time, and those have actually common technologies. Now we are actually following the same principle with like low code, no code, and some of the middleware technologies. Even right now, so some of these complex technologies like WSO2, we have observed that they are training, and we actually train them, and we move away. So that's one of our mantras. So just wanted to share that we really value that, and that's why they also refer us, because they know they know we are not for just to make money, right? It's just to not only to train them, but also to build the capability and build the capability in the people. So consumer the entire. So it's a benefit for the entire community.
Indeed. Thank you, Kasan, for that wonderful thought. Actually, Mitra name is coming from Sanskrit. It actually stands for friendship. So we are here for partnership, as Kasan correctly mentioned. Just one question. That is Creatio low code or totally no? It's actually totally no code. So even if you go to the Creatio website, they would say no code platform. So it's actually, they were like a low-code, no-code platform, but with all the engineering and versioning with the new Freedom UI, they position as totally a no-code platform. Thank you for that question.
Hello, sir. Is the Creatio this is the CRM product or like a overall workflow automation product?
It has CRM, so there are multiple products. It has sales, marketing, services that combines, gives you the CRM. But then again, now I know Sanjay, we have been working with Creatio, but now the product positioning and the modules have been slightly changed. So they provide the studio component as a base product, because if someone just purchases the studio, the base product, you can build any solution around that. That's one. But then again, on top of that, you can, if you go to, I promised you that I will drop the URL. I'll drop the URL over here. So you will be able to experience the different product positioning. This is actually the URL. So if you go, you'll see they promote the base product, that is Studio. Studio means all the customizations, configurations, the no-code part of it. And then on top of that, there are different products: sales, marketing, services. And also, not only that, there are certain vertical solutions. There are vertical solutions for banking sector. There are vertical solutions for insurance sector. Likewise, there are vertical solutions on top of that as well. And there are quite a lot of connectors on the marketplace. So it's actually essentially the workflow. It's not just a workflow solution. To answer your question, it's actually not just a CRM. It's a no-code tool, no-code platform.
So then, sir, can you share the what type of solution you implemented in the banking
Sure,
sector?
sure. I will share with you. We have quite a lot of case studies we have done. I will share that with you, Sanjeev. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions? There's another question. What is the safety net established to make sure a well-regulated and focused system transformation?
Right. Thank you. This is regarding the middleware platforms, I guess. Okay. So let me get to that question in a bit of a systematic way. So when we are considering about a transformation, regardless of the transformation, when we are thinking of a system, there are few areas, there are few areas that we have to think about. So we mainly consider these areas as safety nets in the perspective of regulation and making sure we are compliant with the authorities. So I would say first thing is there may be regulations regionally, like the GDPR or whatever the regulations imposed by the state. So that can be considered as the first thing. So the second layer, the bank itself may have its own policies and its own rules that how they are willing to make these expose. And while we are doing this one, what are the regulations that they should maintain? I would say that is the second thing that we take that as the considerations. Third, of course, the platform that we use, there are several set of regulations, there are several set of rules that are in place. For an example, in some platforms, whenever you are exposing an API, the authorization, authentication, the identity management part comes in build. Of course, you can ignore, but it's in build. It's a must thing. So it has been imposed by the technology. Fourth thing is at Mitra, usually we follow a very standard process, which we prioritize this security and these regulation related perspectives. We often have review sessions internally and also see whether we are aligning to about 3 in stage by stage. So it's not a single or a straightforward task. It's a combination of several set of understanding, several set of requirements, putting them together to a workable plan, and we'll come up with that is what we call as a safety net that will often be align your transformation, regulated, and ran by ran within security measures.
Thank you, Samira, for that response and elaboration. I believe the person who asked the question around the safety net got a good understanding about the safety net and the measures around the platform and as Mitra. All right. There's another question. I think that's also for Samira. Would you like to take that up as well?
Authentication supported in Okay. All right. So let me read it slowly. What are authentication supported in WSO2? On implementation, can we have different authentication type as per nature of the application? Saying that we mean for internal application, some basic authentication, but for third party, we choose some other. Is that possible? So I'll start answering from the beginning. So basically, the most standard protocols and security mechanisms, like I would just name it OAuth, or even federated identities. So everything is supported, and the most important part is it is capable of integrating into existing identity providers as well. So to answer your question, this is possible. And I do understand why you have asked this question. if you are in the secure perimeter, you don't need the strong authentication. But if you are moving out of the perimeter, yes, of course, you need a strong authentication. So this is completely possible, but knowing the consequences, knowing the security in place, we'll come up with several set of recommendations. For an example, there is nothing called assuming secured perimeters. You can't do that. You have to make sure you have taken every step to secure that specific internal application or internal perimeter properly, and do a proper assessment on that to answer your question quickly and in a direct way. This is completely possible, but of course we'll have a thorough understanding about why we have to do that, whether it's possible doing that within there. Let me add few things as well. For an example, just imagine in a situation that internally you are using a different identity provider like Azure Active Directory or even Keycloak. That is also a possibility that we can go ahead and use these behaviors and integrate properly to work hand in hand with the internal and external applications.
Thank you, Samir. I believe you got a comprehensive response, and I think we are also running out of time. So if you have any further questions, or maybe if you want to work with us in any of the areas we have discussed in this forum, in terms of workflow automation, in terms of integrations, or maybe a bit of both, a combination, you can actually connect with Santosh. He's there. He's very much accessible to you, although we are a bit far, although we are in the same region. So you can actually work very closely with Santosh, and Santosh has a direct link with us. So we can actually work on those if you have a challenge or maybe further questions. It can be some sort of a POC. You never know. So please continue to work with Santosh and continue the momentum and the discussion. It was really great to have you on board because there were lots of questions and responses. It was actually interactive. This is what, as panelists, we love to see, the enthusiasm from the audience, and it was there from all of you. Therefore, I should actually, on behalf of the organizers and our partners, Creation WSO2 and Mitra Innovation, and also Samarth International, I would like to thank each and every one of you. And also, before we wind up, I would like to get Santosh to maybe share your thoughts also before we wind up the session. We have about a few minutes remaining. Santosh, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Asif. Yeah. First of all, I like to thank all the participants for taking their time and joining this webinar. Though it was a very short, call, but still, you manage your time, and thank you very much for this participations. And also, I like to thank the Mitra team for organizing this, and it was I think it was very informative, and I hope that we'll continue this for future days for different other topics. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Santosh. So I'm sure I will maybe talking to you maybe in the future when I say you all of the participants. So if you have any challenges, any problem statements, bring it to us. We like challenges. And as I said, this is the first webinar, so there will be more webinars in the future covering different topics as well from Mitra and Samartha combination. Thank you once again. Stay safe, and signing off, Harshan Senadir on behalf of Mitra Innovation.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.